What is going on, guys? It's your boy Edward V, and today we're going to talk about 5 negative side effects to intermittent fasting. Stay tuned. Okay, this is not clickbait. This is not clickbait. Yes, I am an intermittent fasting channel. Yes, I care a lot about intermittent fasting, and I think it is the best method for losing weight. However, there are negative side effects, and these aren't going to be pretend ha-ha side effects where it's like, yeah, see, it's not really a bad thing, it's a good thing. No, I'm really going to tackle the serious side effects that you can actually have when intermittent fasting. Now, keep in mind that these side effects have been documented to have happened to people in the past, but not everyone goes through this. So if you haven't done intermittent fasting yet, and these may scare you a little bit, fret not, give it a try, see what happens. And also, I will give tips on how to overcome or how to get rid of those negative side effects that I'm about to mention right now. None of these side effects are in any particular order. All of them are important, and let's get started. Okay, so let's start off with number 1, headaches. A lot of people who do intermittent fasting, or just fast for that matter, tend to run into headaches. These headaches are usually your body kicking back from what's going on. It's feeling a little bit under stress because it feels that its environment has been threatened because for some reason you're not eating. Some people get this, some people don't. But if you do get headaches, one good recommendation is to drink a lot of water. It can relieve the headaches. But keep in mind, however, as your body starts to adjust to its new patterns, to what you're dealing with, the scenarios that you're actually creating for yourself, i.e. not eating all the time and fasting, your body will begin to adjust. If your headaches do not go away, however, after 3 weeks, 4 weeks, I do recommend checking with a doctor, as there may be some underlying effect there that might not have anything to do with fasting, but was exacerbated during the fasting process. Now let's move on to number 2. Number 2 is heartburn. Yes, that's something that actually happens to people when they fast. Has it happened to me? Yes, it actually did happen to me a few times in the beginning when I was transitioning from eating 6 meals a day to fasting, because that is how blunt my transition was. I literally wasn't even eating the normal 3 meals a day before I cut into intermittent fasting. I was eating 6 meals a day. I was using that formula before I did intermittent fasting. So I did experience a little bit of heartburn during the beginning. This is also a victim of your old eating patterns. Your body releases acids at specific times, and if you're not eating during those times, you can't relieve it with food. Your body doesn't understand what's happening, and then the acid starts to give you that pain, that heartburn sensation. Once again, that will also relieve itself little by little, and within about maybe a month and a half, that should be gone. It took me about 3 weeks where I just didn't get it at all, but it was slowing down as my body started adjusting to the scenario that I was experiencing. A lot of these side effects that you're going to deal with, you're going to have to ride it out if you want to do intermittent fasting. But understanding also on the flip side that not all of these things happen to everyone. For example, I never had the headaches, but I did get the heartburn. Number 3, binge eating. And if you want more details on how to overcome binge eating, I do have a video up. I'll put the card right here, and you can go ahead and click that and watch that video, and I'll break down how you can actually stop binge eating if you are caught up in that whole binge eating system when you break your fast and you just go insane and start eating so much food. Fasting and then breaking your fast psychologically does mess with some people's heads, and it makes them eat sugary stuff, eat things with high calorie counts a lot, just a bunch of food, chips, and cake and chicken, and it just like a whole plethora of food, and then you overshoot your calorie count. You still want to remain within a decent calorie count. You don't want to go so high, because then you're not going to lose weight, because there isn't any calories to burn. So just as a quick snapshot for this video, one thing you can do to help yourself when it comes to binge eating is strategizing, creating the meals that you're going to eat already before you even eat the meals. So that way, not only do you have the cutoff in time from intermittent fasting, but you also have the cutoff in actual meals that you're selecting. So you can tell to yourself, okay, I'm gonna eat this chicken with this pasta, and I'm gonna eat this bar right here, and I'm gonna have this shake, and all of this is about this much calories, and I'm not gonna eat any more. So I'm gonna eat all of this in one sitting. I've counted the calories, I understand how much I'm taking into my body, and then I'm done. If you go into it with a strategy, you will have more success rather than just eating like crazy. But like I said, you can click the card, it'll take you to the video, and I have more tricks and tips that you can use to help get yourself out of the dangers of binge eating. Now, one big thing that happens to a lot of people is dependence on coffee. It is notoriously connected to intermittent fasting. It's like a 90 to 95%. If I meet someone who knows about intermittent fasting, they almost 90% of the time drink coffee, and they're obsessed with coffee. I get that they're trying to put caffeine in their bodies to give themselves that boost that they feel that they need to get in the morning, but the thing is, you don't need it. What you do when you're drinking coffee and you create the dependency, one, that you're dependent on the caffeine and all of that stuff. That is not very healthy for you. But the thing about it is, your body can actually create the energy levels that you need for the rest of the day via fasting. As your HGH increases and your focus level increases and you go into fight or flight, that elevates the energy that you need for the rest of the day until you start eating. When you start drinking coffee, you go into this loop and cycle where your body is preparing itself to get the coffee and dependent on it. So it's actually detrimental to you, because you're going to force yourself to need it for the long haul. Every time you feel you need to drink coffee, supplement it with water, and that will better benefit you down the line. And let's move on to number 5, which is difficulty actually eating enough calories. So we talked about binge eating, which is the opposite end of the spectrum for eating enough food when you break your fast. Some people are so in tune and inclined to create these small meals and eat small meals. They're not used to eating large, hearty meals during the feast time. But I'm here to tell you that you need to take that subconscious feeling that you're going to gain weight because you're eating so much. Your body doesn't work that way. If the thing that you're eating so much of is within that small time frame, it's not really that much. Because you got to look at the whole 24 hours. How much did you eat in the whole 24 hours? Did you just eat 2,500 calories in the whole 24 hours? Then you're not going to gain that much weight, or you're probably in your maintenance level depending on the weight that you already have on you. This takes a lot of practice. I even had to practice to get myself into being able to eat so much in such a small amount of time. But once you get there, your body is an amazing adjusting tool. It will adjust to that scenario and make it easier for you to eat a certain amount of food in a certain amount of time. And I'm gonna throw one bonus one in there for you guys, just because I love you guys. And this one doesn't happen to a lot of people, but I have seen this affecting people, and I've researched it myself. And the research kind of makes sense. People who cannot sleep when they do intermittent fasting. And this is especially when they're fasting when they're sleeping. So one thing is that you want to be sleeping when you're fasting, because it makes fasting that much easier. You want 8 or 7 or 6 of your hours of fasting to be while you're unconscious. But what's the reason for this? The thing is that fasting does act as a detoxification system. When you fast, your liver is working to detoxify your body, and that could raise your adrenaline and your cortisol, and those things can keep you waking up at night. Now, understand that this has never happened to me, but like I said before, this has happened to a few people. One thing you could do to help that is give your liver some assistance. Drink some water. Take a spoon of apple cider vinegar and drink that as well, because those things will actually help the liver release the toxins much quicker, much earlier, before you even go to sleep, so that when you're rested, it's already ending the process and you'll be able to go to sleep. There you have it, guys. Those are 5 negative side effects from intermittent fasting, plus one more that I surprised you guys with, because of course I love you. Duh. If you guys have any other questions to any other videos that I've had in the past, I will have one here. My subscribe button will be down there. My Fledge fitness jump rope will be up here, and I will see you on Sunday. Peace out, guys.